It's time now to tackle the headline. We've officially reached quarter time of this AFL season, so we're going to take it a little drink, maybe a quarter of an orange and a snake at the stoppage, and cast our eye across the competition, Ralphie and Scotty, and just to get a little bit of a temperature test of where we're at. I want to throw some topics at you, some awards, if you will, at quarter time.
I like it.
Who, to this point, is your emerging coach of the season?
Well, for me, it's quite clearly Adam Uze. So a lot of people out there suggested he wouldn't win a game, and now he's won 2 of 6, and I think he's got the sting in his tail. He's tweaked his tactics, so he was just trying to play right down the corridor last year, and what happened? They got opened up the other way. Now, I'm not sure whether those tactics still would have worked even if they'd had some players, if they didn't have those 4 players out with knee injuries, but chip around the boundary line, and then they attack from centre half forward. I think he's quite clearly been the emerging coach of the season.
The aura came under question, didn't it? But you would have to think, I mean, there was so much commentary about whether they'd even win a game this season. As you say, Ralphie, 2 of 6. It might give him, you know, a nice little confidence boost.
No, I won't argue with that one. I'll give you that one, Ralphie.
This is what happens behind the scenes. So I did something with Jack Rewalt in the pre-season, and we were walking across to have the interview, and I said, you know, Jack, there's some people out there that would say that, you know, he's not going to win a game. And then we started our interview. And he says, some mugs out there, Ralphie, think that they're not going to win a game. How stupid are they? I'm like, come on, Jack. But anyway, got us a good headline, so that's all we care about.
That's not how the media works, no way. What about the master tactician of the year? We see the magnets thrown around a little bit, Scotty.
I'll give my love to Kenny Hinkley.
Oh, not again. Not Kenny Hinkley.
Campany and Ken.
Your love
Connor
for this bloke
Rozee.
shows no bounds.
So, Port were gone, never going to win a game. Hawthorn were going to kill them. Connor Rozee, the captain, he says, you, back to half-back, completely transformed in the last couple of weeks. So, Kenny gets the tick for me.
And it was quite well forecast in the hours beforehand, but it was a shock through the year. No one would have thought that this was going to happen. So it was a genuine shock leading into that contest, and it's been the bombshell move.
Yeah, the move of the year, I think, is an interesting one. I'm probably joining the queue here when it comes to the big fans of Patrick Dangerfield up forward, or as you talk to Geelong players, he's calling himself Modrafield.
He is.
I think is what he's going with there. I mean, he was forecast to do it a little bit early in the season. I remember talking to him on Captain's Day, and he said he'd been training a bit as a forward. But I don't think any of us forecast that on a game like Easter Monday, he could have effectively not attend one centre bounce. This arguably is the move of the year.
Yeah, and I wonder whether Geelong can tell porky pies. So Patrick Dangerfield said after round 1, he said, the reason we did this was because of injury prevention, because I keep picking my hamstrings. And if I can get through the first 4 weeks, all of a sudden I'm bulletproof. So I don't know whether he just said that or whether he truly believed it. And now Chris Scott says, well, you're not going back into the midfield. So
not at all.
He's been fantastic. In a weird old season, I think that Michael Voss has done some really clever things. So, you know, obviously Brodie Kemp forward was really working before he did the Achilles. Then they threw Lewis Hayes forward. Lewis Hayes can't play forward. He was excellent last week. And then, of course, Jack Silvani, training him as a defender back. The other one you would say as well, and a couple of them have been curtailed, Reef McGuinness back, was really working before he did his ACL. So, yeah, even a couple of the coaches who haven't had a lot of wins have been, I think, really clever with their tactical bent.
It wouldn't be 3 journos at a desk without a little bit of heat on someone. We've been very, very positive. But what about the underperforming coach of the year at the other end?
Fremantle. Let's head over west. Justin Longmuir. I mean, seriously, we keep hearing they're coming. They've got the talent. Tracy's a superstar. The midfield, it's all there. And they come over here and they go, Melbourne, have this. This is too hard for us. So the Fremantle, there's no trust for them. So. And defence, which is interesting, because at Collingwood, Longmore was praised for setting up that system in 2018. Like that, he was the brains trust for all that. Yet his team at the moment defensively are poor. So he's the one I'm not convinced about at the moment.
What about the matchup of the year as well? To think that Tom McDonald on Just Tracy, everyone's saying Tracy's the new Wayne Carey, and to think that Tom was actually the perfect matchup for him. Yes, he takes great contested marks, but Tom had the aerobic ability to go with him as well. So if we'd looked at that one, we would have said 4, 5, 6 goals, and yet Tom was absolutely instrumental there, with Harry Petty still able to be kept forward when Dan Turner went down with concussion. I just love what Tom McDonald was able to do.
What about another Tom when it comes to the great inflators at this time of year that have really boosted their trade stocks? It's pretty hard to go past Tom de Koning, isn't it?
So he was an $800,000 player. He had some really good games last year, but to be honest, I think he did his ankle. He also had a punctured lung. And then he just comes out and explodes. So straight away, he's worth $10, $11, $12 million. And then those prices have only gone up. Let's face it, he's been in exceptional form. And yet we still think to ourselves, I don't think he's worth it. So that's what great players do to you. They allow you to second guess.
But then you're on the couch on Good Friday watching that, you go, oh, hang on, there's a couple of hundred, he's gone up again.
Yeah.
he's ready to go. He's write your own cheque stuff.
And yet, when he kicks that goal against the Roos and he wasn't quite kissing his jumper, it makes you think he wants to be there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go, but they're going to have to find more money quickly.
So what would he stay for? So let's say he's been offered $1,050,000 and the other deal is 1.7.
Well,
some of it is front end.
Who are the highest paid there? Wiedering, the captain, Chris.
Yeah, Walsh.
He's got to get 1, 2 to 3. Can you pay 4 or 5 blokes that same amount of money? And like Geelong, he's got to get that much.
So what are you doing? You're back-ending. You're trying to say to Adam Cherry, you just signed him up for a new deal. Maybe you're saying to Mark Pitnet, we love you, Mark, but it's time for you to move on.
He's got to go, yeah, unfortunately.
They haven't really got a second ruckman apart from Jack Silvani. That's the issue right now. They haven't got that much depth. And so to keep him on 1.1 or 1.2, you are eroding already shallow depth. And that's a risk you've got to take potentially.
Pay him quickly.
Pay the man. Anyone not earning their keep?
Well, Ben Mackay gets a smacking, doesn't he? So he has good games, but he has horrible games.
I don't think we're not here to defend. I mean, he went on a lot of money. He had a choice. Essendon moved the farm for him, and he's played better the last couple of weeks. But there was a patch there where he was getting 2 or 3 times he was touching the ball, hardly any intercept marks. I mean, you got to front up. When you turn up, you're the key to that defence. This team that needs to lift. You've got Zach Merritt doing his thing, and you're just not delivering. I mean, that's facts. And yes, your pay packet shouldn't be a big issue, but it is. That's another fact. We all know you're on a poultice, so play better.
Jack Ginnivan's another one who's been dropped after 16 scoreless quarters. Really interesting philosophy from Hawthorn. They're like, we've got 30 blokes who expect to play every week. We've had a bloke that's won 4 premierships in Bruce, who's played a lot of AFL football, and Jack Gunston, who has won 3 premierships with him. He came back in and didn't he look like something exceptional on the weekend and missed a couple of shots. So what they would say is that Jack's just like anyone else at this football club. You come in and you come out. And yet Jack's got some pride, so he'd be desperate to get back into that team. But I wonder whether he'll have to spend a couple of weeks down there.
Well, Jack Gunston's one that fits into our last category
Yes.
nicely. It feels like you could almost sponsor this season with Penfolds Grange. I don't know whether our great friend Peter Malinauskas over in South Australia might be able to sort something, but they're just getting better with age. Who are you loving it as in terms of players who are really turning back the clock? I mean, you could argue half the Collingwood team at the moment.
I'm in love with Adelaide's forward line and Texan, who 2 to 3 years ago we were ready to put to pasture. I mean, he's crucial to that. I'll give him a tick. Most of Collingwood's team, we could start with Steele Sidebottom and Pendles and keep going. I mean, they don't look like they're running out of steam at any time soon, John.
Every time you speak to a Collingwood player and you say, what about your future? They say, hey, Justin Leppich, give me a contract. Leppich's doing a great job and he'll work on it later in the season. But so Steele Sidebottom, you think he plays on. Pendlebury, Elliott, Howe, Will Hoskin-Elliott, they might have to push him out.
Well, Sidebottom, I didn't think. I thought this would be his last.
Yeah.
But then you watch his first month, you go, okay.
So potentially they'll have to say to these blokes, okay, you've 250,000, take it or leave it contract. That's always challenging. But I want on
just
face
win
value,
the flag, and a lot of them will retire on the spot, on the dice.
That's a good point.
So
That's
don't
a
worry
good
about
point.
it.
It's easy, isn't it? Just win a flag and everything.
Win a flag.
Everything moves on.
It'll
It's
be
easy.
fine. That's easy. There you go. You've solved all of the problems of the world. We'll check back in on all of those categories with you guys in a few weeks' time. But that's it from us at Tackle the Headline. We'll see you shortly.